Board of Peace has met with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Nikolai Mladenov told Netanyahu that Israel must stop attacks on the Gaza Strip. After the meeting, Israeli Finance Minister Bezalel Smotrich called for a new cabinet vote on the Gaza Board of Peace plan. He's claiming ministers approved the plan based on misleading information. Last week, Trump announced that his board struck a deal to see Hamas disarmed and establish a new government in Gaza. The Palestinian foreign minister has condemned the sharp rise in Israeli settler attacks across the occupied West Bank. The Palestinian Authority says at least 20 Palestinians have died since the start of the year. Arsen Agabekian spoke to AlJazeera's Nida Ibrahim about how settler groups are becoming more destructive with the backing of the Israeli army.
Israeli settler attacks are not just increasing and intensifying across the occupied West Bank, but as the Palestinian foreign minister says, they're becoming part and parcel of an instrumental and organized Israeli campaign which aims to dispossess Palestinians from their lands. In her remarks, Arsen Agabekian has said that Israeli officials and the Israeli government is not only not holding these settlers accountable, but they're using them and relying on them in a campaign to dispossess Palestinians, or better known as implementing the Israeli plan of annexing the occupied West Bank.
Settlers are more organized. They work in a more coordinated manner. And all of this is under the guidance of this Israeli government, and they are shielded and protected by the Israeli occupation forces. And they see how they move into the various places. They're there, and the occupation forces are maybe watching or actually engaging in the terror activities.
There are Palestinians who are criticizing the Palestinian Authority, saying it's not doing enough to protect Palestinians.
What we can do is what we can do. There is so much we can do. First of all, we use the diplomatic means. We get in touch with all countries. We send statements, we send letters, we send appeals to various countries, and we have responses. And we've asked many countries, most countries, to do something about settlements and settler terrorism. And to the credit of some, they have taken measures. We would like to see more measures.
What the foreign minister wants the world to know is that they have responsibilities towards Palestinians and towards how Israeli settlers are reshaping the map, are trying to establish facts on the ground in the goal to prevent Palestinians from having an independent state of their own. She's also calling on media to report the daily attacks that are happening to Palestinians day in and day out, and to link them with the upper goal, with the larger context of dispossessing Palestinians and get them off their lands. Nida Ibrahim, AlJazeera, Ramallah, occupied West Bank, Palestine.
Now, one Israeli settler movement that has violently attacked Palestinian communities is the so-called Hilltop Youth. It emerged in the late 1990s, establishing illegal outposts across the occupied West Bank. Israel has recognized some of those outposts. The Hilltop Youth has attacked Palestinian homes and farmlands. It's been sanctioned by several countries, including the U.S., in 2024. But President Trump lifted those sanctions a year later. More than 700,000 Israeli settlers live in the occupied West Bank and East Jerusalem. This year, Israel's settlement minister allocated nearly $2 million for Hilltop Youth members. The rights group Peace Now documented 155 illegal settlement outposts before October 2023. It says 185 new outposts have been established since then. Noor Day explains.
A promotional video shows Israeli miners training in the hills of the occupied West Bank. They call themselves the Iron Boys. Another shows young women stealing from a Palestinian olive orchard near Bethlehem. They're the conscripts of the violent Israeli settler movement called the Hilltop Youth, who want to take over the occupied West Bank.
Classic Hilltop Youth is settling the land, focusing on the positive, focusing on taking action.
They're living a golden era. In the past 3 years alone, they've built 200 outlying illegal settlement outposts on the Palestinian hilltops.
It's not spiritual. The goal is to capture the area so that the Arabs don't have control.
The group attacks Palestinian towns, sets homes and places of worship on fire, and assaults Palestinians, killing and injuring dozens over the years.
We're very proud of initiating friction. Even the army is in friction.
Hilltop youth enjoy total impunity.
I canceled on my own initiative all administrative order against settlers in the West Bank.
Impunity that feeds brazenness, like the Hilltop youth proudly compiling and advertising their attacks on Palestinians in social media reels like this one. The settler group enjoys military protection and has recently received $40 million in food and clothing subsidies from the Israeli government. Many of their leaders are now in important government positions, like the head of the Education, Culture and Sports Committee in the Knesset, once a prominent leader of Hilltop Youth, seen here smashing the placard of a Palestinian school in occupied East Jerusalem because it has a picture of the Palestinian flag. And ministers who now facilitate, fund and protect their takeover of Palestinian land. Once identified as a fringe group, Hilltop Youth is now mainstream. Their adopted anthem, May Your Village Burn, is heard in parties, sports matches, and rallies, while politicians dance to the tune. Nur Ode, AlJazeera.